Hello. We sort of like practiced this time because last time both of us looked puzzled when we showed up.
I wasn't ready.
Neither one of us were ready last time, and then this time we're both like already laughing. So. But we have coffee. Café L'Orange. Thank you, my sister. She's the one that provided it. She gets me my Café L'Orange. And I appreciate it so much because it's so good. Before we start, as always, let's start with our scripture. Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. Oh Lord, my strength and my redeemer. And Guppy wanted to read with us this time. And I can't tell you how helpful she is. Yes. That was helpful, right? Super helpful. It was apparently a word I was having very big difficulty trying to land. But I finally landed it. So far today, we have had Café L'Orange, our mandatory food from the local food truck that doesn't actually ever move. It's a little family owned. It looks like a food truck, but it really doesn't ever move. It's like in their front yard. Pretty much. Mm-hmm. Good stuff, though. And we had our donuts again. Except this time, I gotta say, a different girl packed it. And they cooked down, like chai and cappuccino and pumpkin. It's just in lines. And when you open up the box, then the line of donuts corresponds with the label above, except they're sort of like, kind of looks like I tripped or something and shuffled them all up. I was like, I don't know, one from the other. But I was kind of watching her do it. It was sort of just stacked. And she was sugaring them all from the same barrel. So they look suspiciously all the same, don't they?
They tasted suspiciously all the same.
It's all suspicious. I gave them to the nurses too. So I'm hoping that they're like, they loved them last time, but this time I don't think that anyone could tell one from the other because they're just not lined up right. And I don't know. That's kind of sad. But there's that. And then I have discovered that radiation plus chemo equals sore throat. If it's just one and not the other, I'm good, but you blend the two. Sore throat. And with the donuts, they literally all look the same and taste the same to me, so I'm not going to bother eating them because they taste like nothing. And my lunch tasted like nothing. But my Café L'Orange tastes like Café L'Orange. But the taste buds it's one of those chemo things, I guess. And, I found out how come, like last night, I couldn't fall asleep or stay asleep for nothing. Well, it didn't help also that for some reason the roosters felt it was prudent to let me know that it was morning time when it was like 4 a.m. Oh, dear. Guppy is trying to reappear here. Hi, Guppy. She's feeling hi, darling. She's feeling very neglected because I'm usually home with her all the time, or I take her with me wherever I go. But since my days have gotten, it's all right, I'll move. Here you go. But my days, thanks. My days have gotten long between the appointments, going first to radiation and then to, how you doing? To oncology.
Wow, we're really close up right now.
She's feeling terribly neglected, so she keeps sort of showing up where you least expect her. And that's what's happening right about now.
So if you want to lay down now, you can. Oh, seriously. Okay, I've missed you terribly too, Guppy. Yes, we've all missed each other. So, yeah, I found out finally how come, like either the night of chemo or the next day, I can't sleep and my cheeks turn really, really, really like dark pink, red. Oh, dog breath. Thanks. What does that look about? At any rate, I found out what that's about. Feel free to ask what.
Oh, what?
I know you gotten so confused because the dog was
Yeah.
sort of like, oh my goodness.
I was kind of in my own world. Like, do I need to let her out?
It's the steroids that does it. She said today, she just asked out of the blue, one of the nurses, she was like, how did you sleep last night? And I'm like, I didn't. She's like, oh, I was worried about that. Your steroids do that. So here I am. See, this is third cycle, first round, I think. And someone told me, and I didn't know till now. How come I couldn't sleep like either the night of or the night after that, after chemo? And I don't know. It's the steroids.
Why? Like, what are they doing?
Mostly they're trying to make sure that I don't have like any sort of an allergic reaction to the Taxol that they get. Apparently Taxol, like a lot of people are really, really allergic to Taxol. So they first hit you with Benadryl, and then they hit you with steroids, and then you're just sort of like really tired. Usually I'm some semi like sort of like kind of drowsing, but they put me in the room with this fella that I've been in the room with before. And this time they brought me in and they were like, we're giving you a roommate, Mr. So-and-so. And he's like, oh, no, don't put that woman in here. She ain't nothing but trouble. Get her right back out of here. And I'm like going, I have shared a room with him before, and he's the one that's trouble. So then the whole argument just ensued from that point on. And yeah, I didn't have any trouble trying to like stay awake. He had a lot of talking to do. And when the nurses checked on me today, she was like, I figured that you had to go home after that and like pray or something.
Did you?
He did use some interesting language. Not necessarily the language that I typically use, but he's entertaining. He's entertaining. He's a good fella. He's entertaining. He's funny. That man has been under chemo treatment now for, I think he said 4 years.
That's a long time.
First he said, and I might have these out of order because I'm me now. I think the first he said it was throat cancer, then lung cancer, then something else cancer, and now it's something in his stomach cancer.
Ooh.
I was like, do you kind of point your finger at something and be like, well, I did used to work in such and such, so I'm not really shocked that I've got this or whatever. And he was like, no, he was a truck driver. He said that the worst he knows that he got into was California smog. I might do it. Shh. God. Shh.
Maybe she needs to go out.
I don't. She's licking her foot.
Oh.
Yeah. As soon as we let her out, obviously she'll just want to come right back in. So here's another point of fun. I have on Living the Coop Life completely by Quinky Dinky. And you've got on, think of us, but at any rate, we both have on chicken shirts. From Tractor Supplies, Chicken Days. And neither one of us planned it. It just happened. It was a chicken kind of a day.
Yeah, we must have been thinking chickens today.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, something that we need to try. Oh, she's back.
It was right. There's like a nose in my belly.
She's not very polite. something we ought to try. And I noticed that you've got pumpkins. So here's what we're going to do. We'll film it. We first just kind of etch in a pattern for a jack-o'-lantern or whatever. And then we give it to the chicken to finish it, the chickens. And wherever you etched, they pick the design.
Will they do that?
Yeah, well, we'll find out, won't we? We have to try soon while your pumpkins are still okay.
What will we do it with that they can eat?
It's a pumpkin. They can eat
No,
the
but I mean,
pumpkin.
like, what will we draw with that they should eat?
Oh, no. What you do is you kind of like etch it with a knife or whatever, and then they
Oh.
follow your etching and pick away.
That would be cool.
It would be cool, especially if they did it. If they didn't do it, then it's kind of like, nah, that didn't work. I'll have to decide which coop, the queens or the teens. Which ones do you think we'd have most success at? Queens, teens, queens.
Whichever ones are younger.
You really think so? Younger ones?
Probably.
Okay, teens it is. Teens are the youngest chickens. It's 2 coops. One's the little seniors and one's the youngsters. And one has a really big rooster in it that I'm slightly afraid of.
I'm slightly afraid of every chicken.
You are. That rooster is ginormous. That one that y'all gave us.
Oh, he grew.
Oh. He's like the size of a small doghouse. He's huge. And Prince is still little and cute and handsome, and sounds worse when he announces that it's morning. But yeah, this morning at 4 a.m., they're all interested in letting me know it's morning time. I was like, what? And I think it's a new moon, isn't it? I mean, it's dark out there. Why are they doing that at 4 a.m.? And then they redid it all again like at 5. Pretty much every hour on the hour they were having at it. And I got up, gave up. By then the dog was up too. All right. So that covers all the big catch-ups.
Really?
I think so. Do you have any? We can sign off now and go finish our coffee, right? Instead of everyone listening to me slurp. That is so good.
Not much happening with me. I cooked yesterday.
That is important that I should say. Y'all remember how I asked Bessie for some potato soup? My kid came through for me. Not only do I have potato soup, I got enough potato soup to last me at least the whole week.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to yield enough, so I just kept adding to it, and there's enough for the whole neighborhood now.
Yes, there's a fount of potato soup now. Yes, there is. And I'm hoping that will be my supper. Unless I just give up on food for the day, which I probably will.
You gotta at least taste it, tell me what you think.
That is true. I will at least taste it and tell you what I think, and then have a real meal of it tomorrow. But having already suffered through the lunch that tasted like nothing and the donut that tasted like nothing, I don't know what flavor I ended up with. I know what I was trying for, but they do all look the same this time, don't they?
I tried 2 different kinds, or I thought I did, but they tasted the same.
Yeah, it's all suspicious. I think that her heart wasn't in it. I'm sad to say. Shh. Someone's having fun. So we've also narrowed down probably this coming up week. We're going to record the cooking challenge, and we've decided on pizza.
That should be fun.
Or painful. I'm not sure which. But to make it just one little step easier, what we're going to do is do biscuit crust pizza instead of a yeast dough type pizza.
Like biscuits from the store, or make biscuits?
No, like I used to do it all the time. I'll make biscuit dough and
That should be even better to do blindfolded.
I'm not going to make the dough blindfolded. I'm going to put the pizza together blindfolded, right? Do I have to make the dough blindfolded?
Yeah. It's part of it.
This is terrible. Well, the other step that I'm concerned a little bit about is usually you cook it in an iron skillet. So usually the iron skillet's kind of hot already. So you kind of get like a crispy in advance on the dough.
We'll just have to not do that.
No, we won't do that part. We'll probably just have slightly soggy pizzas. That's all. Soggy
That's
pizza
probably
amongst
best.
friends, right? It's probably best. I don't want to get burnt. And the chopping and everything is done in advance, right? Like I'm not going to have to chop with.
Yeah. The dangerous parts are already done. It's just putting it together in the right place, in the right shape.
How am I supposed to know that the dough is right if I can't see it?
Exactly.
No one's going to eat the pizza. We'll give it to Guppy. If I say her name, she'll be right back up here again.
It'll be delicious.
Hopefully. It'll look terrible though, right?
Maybe a little.
The mess. The mess.
But I think my soup turned out pretty good, which was surprising because I've never made it before.
Did you put leeks or anything in it too? Just the scallions?
Yeah, just the scallions and
Okay.
regular onions.
This is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to taste like something. I just know it is.
Yeah.
It's so hard when your food tastes like absolutely nothing. My meal today ended up being, and I don't even believe in drinking soft drinks, but I could taste them. So I drank first a Dr. Pepper, and then I drank, it's going to sound 3 o'clock. Delightful, isn't it? Yes. So first I drank a Dr. Pepper and then I drank a mug. So, I didn't finish that one, but can't believe I put that much soft drink stuff in my system. But I could taste it and it was exciting to actually taste something. So
A few once in a while won't hurt.
I don't know. I normally don't drink such stuff. I've been drinking mostly water, but obviously water doesn't taste like anything either, but something, I needed some flavor. I got a Big Newton while I was at the oncologist today, and it tasted like a BQ dried nothing. So like,
Ew.
it was big. It was 2 big Newtons. Big, so couldn't eat that either. And it was hurting my throat. My throat was hurting.
I hope the soup goes down smooth.
The soup's bound to. The coffee doesn't hurt, and the soda didn't hurt. Well, the fizzy part was hurting, but
I tried to cook the potatoes pretty soft.
yeah, this is going to be good. I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'll have it probably tomorrow. I'll taste it today so I can report to you how yummy it is, and then. But isn't that sweet of my kid? What a great kid.
I'm not a great cook, but I think this turned out okay.
Don't underestimate yourself. You keep saying that, and then you keep resenting these great meals. Like that barbecue that time.
A lot of them are misses still.
I still have misses, and I've been cooking. I'm not going to even say how long I've been cooking. But just say a long time and leave it at that. But yeah, that's going to be our first attempt. Is going to be skillet pizza, and you use biscuit dough. So that will be our first attempt. I figure I can't get hurt but so bad. Right?
Yeah, there's nothing painful in it. You'll just be like putting the toppings and stuff and not being able to see.
But then they won't be spread evenly. And they'll be
Exactly.
like
That's what's
clumps.
funny.
And then there's still going to be that problem with her not knowing her left from the right.
Yeah. Especially if I'm like looking at you and oops, I mean you're right. No, the other one.
Oh, this is going to be terrible.
This is gonna be so much fun.
Oh, why not? So that's 2 things of fun. You know, the chicken carving.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to do that? We got to do it soon while your pumpkins are still looking healthier. Did y'all grow them?
Yeah,
All of them? That's good.
those are the ones that we thought they were squash when they were growing, and I don't really know what they are anymore. They look like pumpkins. They tasted like squash.
You've already eaten some?
So did you.
Well, mine was definitely a spaghetti squash. Definitely.
This is from the same plant.
Mine was definitely spaghetti squash. And that's how I fixed it, was like a spaghetti. What did you do with yours?
Like a spaghetti squash.
Well, those aren't pumpkins at all. They're spaghetti squashes.
But now they look like pumpkins.
Well, they do look like pumpkins.
And they came from a pumpkin plant, I think.
This is so confusing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a hybrid plant, and that's how come it doesn't even know what it is.
True.
Mm-hmm. Do you know my cantaloupes are still alive even after the frosts?
Really?
Yes, they are.
The frost took out most of their stuff.
I told you to cover. I gave you advance warning. I was like, cover. What happened?
We ended up not covering that night.
What good did it do me to play weatherman if y'all weren't even going to listen? Why didn't y'all cover it?
We just ended up not. Other stuff happened and we didn't.
That does kind of happen. That stuff just happens. So yeah.
Now we're left with broccoli, Brussels sprouts, collards,
I told you
and cabbage.
Now I can't remember the word for what those things are. What is that word that covers broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts?
I don't remember.
I told you. Well, you know I'm not going to remember a word anymore. Cut. What is it?
I don't remember.
Now that's going to bug me, and then when this is like all over with, it's going to be like, oh, it's such and such.
Go back to our other video and see what we said.
Yes, do that. Everyone go back to the previous video and you'll know. But your cabbage and all of that should still be okay.
Yeah, they're
I
good.
told you they'd be fine. And your peas too, right?
They weren't doing much anyway, so we kind of replaced them.
With what?
Greens.
Okay. From seed?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. And I think that something didn't go right today with my port. It hurt when she went in, and then they flush it to make sure that they have a clean, fresh blood supply. So they flush the port, and then they draw the blood. But when she drew the blood, nothing happened.
Did you watch? Like, did it look different than what she usually
I
does?
was just like, okay, this just hurts, and it normally doesn't hurt, and it's still like hurting. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm like, and then the only way she finally got the blood to start coming out of my port. I mean, I was quite by kind of being grossed out by the whole conversation and all of that. I just kind of leaned my head back, and she's like, don't even move. It's flowing now. And I'm like, okay. She goes, no, don't move. And I'm like, all right, not moving. And bear in mind that all of these nurses today were dressed up. So she's dressed up. She's got her hair like, do you know on what Psycho? Is that what it was called? That movie that the mother was sending people to the great beyond that visited her son at the hotel, Bates Hotel, that one.
I never watched it.
You never watched it? I think it's called
Mhm.
Psycho.
Mhm.
At any rate, she pretty much looked like that mother.
Is that the one with the scene, the scissors or whatever it is?
The knife in the shower. During that period of time, probably everyone stopped showering. I think that was like 1969 or something. Or another. I don't know when it originally was out.
I never watched
But
that
I think
movie.
it horrified everyone so much. It was like, I'm done. No more showers. No.
I only just finally watched that other one last year with the family that moves into the big hotel or whatever it is. The dad's a writer or something.
Oh no.
What's that one called?
I don't know what you're talking about, but don't expect me to say the name of it. I'll never watch that again. Once was more than enough. Oh, no.
I just finally watched that last year.
See, and that's the thing though, because people have gotten so desensitized to these movies. Like I remember when I was I was really young, I saw The Birds. And to this day, if I see many crows at one time, I'm like completely ready to start screaming and running and hiding or something. And it like gives me a real moment.
I have seen that one, and yeah, me too.
It still gives you a moment too.
Yeah.
But it's all of these other movies that are so much worse and more horrible. And it's like, goodness, now I end up sometimes in the room with people when I'm getting treatment or whatever, and they are watching Gunsmoke or one of those old movies like that. And I'm like, this is so violent. How are you watching this? It's horrible. I mean, everyone's getting beat up and other stuff. And I'm like, I don't.
It bores me. There's not enough plot. It's like
Well,
just
no,
whack, whack.
all the plots are the same from what I can tell, but it strikes me as being quite violent. Oh, and Guppy's coming back again already. So, hi. How's life in the Gup lane? Impolite. Ah. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and close with that. So next week, hopefully we get our act together and we are able to do our first cooking challenge, and hopefully the mother won't be hurt.
It'll be totally pain-free.
Golly day. Okay. Hopefully it will be totally pain-free and all of that. So with that, thank y'all for joining us. Please, if you would like and subscribe, we'll get our act together and clean up our content a little, maybe a less dog or two next time.
Please.
Please, yes. Yeah, well, here she's back again. And hi, Guppy. At any rate, thank you. Glad that missed. So glad that missed. Like and subscribe, ring the bell so that you get notifications, because we have no schedule. My schedule is still not the best, and I'm often tired and stuff like that. So ring the bell so you get notifications, so you know when we finally post something new and eventually will be interesting. So until we see you again, peace.
Peace.
Be with.